Okay, it is 5 o'clock, January the 8th. This is Budget and Finance, and I call this meeting to order. We've taken the roll. We're sort of missing our packet, so we're playing improvised here. Take a motion to approve. Oh, before we approve the agenda, under budget amendments, 7B, no, 7A, I'd like to add rural solid waste to make a budget amendment for that. We'll talk about that when we get there. But under
You're adding a seven C,
7A, under 7A,
7A
Yeah.
Budget
one.
amendments.
it would be rural solid waste to add a budget amendment for them.
Okay. 7A1,
Yes, and being with that, anybody approve the agenda?
I make a motion to approve the
I'll
agenda.
second.
Motion by Nettles and second by Terry Hirschman. Any discussion, additions? All those in favor by aye? Aye. I asked about public comments. Nobody had signed up for public comments. We're gonna postpone the minutes to the next meeting because our packet was not read, so the meeting minutes from November will be approved, along with today's meeting minutes, maybe in the end of this month.
Okay.
Okay, with that being said, the next thing on the agenda is the school board presentation, and I turn that over to him.
We are thankful and blessed for the opportunity to share with the Budget Committee. I appreciate Chairman Morris lining these up, and Mayor Hunt, we appreciate the opportunity. The purpose of our presentation is requesting funding for a new Dickerson and added space and classrooms and other areas to East Coffee Elementary.
Thank you.
I landed here and I've landed, feel very blessed to share that I've landed in a really good place. As I was sipping water from a fire hose back in June, getting my feet wet, the first month, it became really apparent and stood out to me. There were two things. As I look at our student-teacher ratio is very favorable, and that has a huge impact, positive impact on our students. And the other thing is, I did my homework prior to being interviewed for the position in the ages of our schools. As I traveled around and looked at our school buildings, there has been a consistent effort with directors and county commissions long before any of us were in our chairs to keep our facilities up to date. Mr. Shores is gonna attack the historical part of our facilities here in a second, but that really jumped out at me, and I think it speaks volumes about the value that our county and our county commission place on education and investing in our young learners in the community. The other thing that jumps out at me about that is, it's obvious that our commissions and prior commissions have been good stewards of money. And I've noticed that in my short time here. I believe our county commission takes pride in being a good steward of the money, and that's reassuring as a taxpayer. We, as a school system, want to continue, that's our model as well. We want to be good stewards of the tax dollars. There's a lot of talk about the I-24 corridor. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't see in the future. I won't predict, but when I hear the things that are going on in our neighboring county to the northwest of us in Rutherford, it's hard to believe that we're not going to be next at some point. I don't claim to know when that is. I think we're starting to see some of that shift into our county. But I don't claim to know that. But I also know this, they're having an additional projected 5,600 students next year. They can't keep up with their facilities. I think our school system and our county commission, we have done a pretty good job of preparing our schools for, but I'm not sure we're going, I would rather us be proactive than reactive, and they're in a little bit of a mess over that. Wish them well. Obviously, Hickerson's the oldest school building in our school district, and in the last several years, you've seen a pretty significant rise in enrollment. I believe Hickerson Elementary is currently pushing 270 students, which is the largest population that school has ever been, as well as we've seen growth at East Coffee. Outside of population shifting, the spaces at Hickerson and East Coffee lack several important features the rest of our district elementary schools and facilities are able to utilize. So our classroom spaces and classroom or space in general is really at a premium. Our cafeteria at both those schools are extremely small, and how that matters is it makes lunch extremely long. That gets into the kitchen space. Our kitchen spaces are extremely small to the point where our students at East Coffee as well as Hickerson have different menu choices because we don't have enough kitchen space to get the cafeteria, the equipment to serve them the same things we do everywhere else. It also affects our schedules. And please hear me say this, when I say gym, don't think athletics. In an elementary setting, those two gyms at Hickerson and East Coffee are extremely small. But when I think of gym in elementary, I think of parent engagement. I think of performances. I'm thinking about things that outside of the athletic realm, because we don't play our elementary basketball in our gyms. We use those for a lot, and it's hard to get a lot of people in our Hickerson and East Coffee gym. So the parent engagement activity at those schools, the lack of space provides challenges. Their schedules are vastly different. We have to start serving breakfast and serving lunch way earlier than we do at our other 4 elementary schools because you're only limited on space on how many children you can feed in our cafeterias. There's been a commitment here, and when I say that, the other 4 elementary schools have had those additions, had additional space added to them. I hope and pray that we're able to make all 6 of our elementary schools equitable as far as the space, because it does have an outcome on our students and their families. But this county has made a commitment to education, and you can see it in simply the brick and mortar and the upkeep and the pride that we've taken. And I hope we would continue to do that. Mr. Shores will be setting up visits for our county commission, and those will be at Hickerson, those will be at East Coffee, and New Union. And the reason New Union is on that tour list, that gives you a comparison. That gives you a comparison. I appreciate your time. Mr. Shores has a short slideshow, and we'll be answering any questions about historical facts about those 2 facilities. But thank you, appreciate the opportunity.
Good evening. Got a short slideshow. There's several slides here. If I go through each one of these in tenths, it's going to take quite a while. I don't think everybody wants to be here for 2 or 3 hours, so I'm going to go hit these fairly quickly. I made a copy for each one of you so that you can take it home and actually look at it a little closer and spend a little bit more time digesting different parts of it. But there's different parts also I think that we need to actually hit. I did not come up with a complete slideshow. This was put on, made by Wool, which is our architect and engineer group that the county board chose about a year and a half ago. So they've been working on this, and we've been looking at East Coffee and Hickerson for a while now, and trying to come up with what the best direction is that we need to go, and to make a recommendation to this group. We do have a couple from Wold here today, and if there's a part to it that I'm not fully up on, they're, if you don't mind, they'd be welcome to jump in and answer it, and I'll give you the answer that you need. Starting off with the first page, why are we doing this? That's, to me, the biggest thing is why. Why do we need to do this to East Coffee and Hickerson? One of the big ones is equity. We started a building project and started to try to figure out how to make sure that we had space in all of our buildings several years ago with Hillsborough Elementary in 2010. 2010 was Hillsborough, and also 2010 was Deerfield. We added on to Hillsborough, and we also added the new building of Deerfield. After that point, we went to the middle school and added it in 2014. From there, went to the Raider Academy because the middle school moved over to their new building, and we turned it into a 9th grade academy. And then North Coffee got the renovation and addition, started in 2019. And then 2020 was New Union Elementary with the same type of footprint, which was about 22,000 square feet. Then we went to the high school and we added in 6 classrooms. We're down to the end of our road of needing to get things ready for any kind of growth. We're ready in all of our schools except for East Coffee and Hickerson. And that's where we are, and that's the reason why we're here with you today, or tonight. And so that's one of the main reasons. We have equity of our buildings. We have the tours, if you're able to go to it. I'd love for you to see the difference in what East Coffee, Hickerson, and New Union has. There's a big change in it, and I think you will see it fairly quick. So I hope when we set these tours up, you are able to make it and come to it, as well as the other commissioners on it too. Another reason why is to alleviate and address side issues that we have. Parking is a major problem over at Hickerson Elementary. Pick up in the afternoons. If you ever get a chance to go by Hickerson about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll see the line going out into the old Tullahoma Highway, and it's not safe. I've been over there several times with the principal, and we've tried to figure out a way to take care of it, but it's just not a safe situation. There's not a good way to fix the problem. Drop off and also pick up is a problem there as well. Biggest thing is to address any kind of growth. The county is growing. If you go out to our industrial park, I think the commission has worked well with the industrial board to start bringing in industries. And those industries, when they come in, people are gonna come as well. And it's growing. You can go out Asbury Road right now, see the Little Leaf project, and it is a monster. So I foresee the growth in our schools, and we need to take care of those things to be ready for it. What are we looking at? Additions and renovations at East Coffee, replacement of Hickerson Elementary on the same site, and the total funding is basically $69 million. Moving on to the next slide, and at any time you're welcome to stop me if you got a question.
Stop.
Go ahead.
So you're wanting to build new Hickerson Elementary right on the same site. Are you building it behind it, or are you gonna
It
build?
would be behind it.
Okay, so that gives you more, when you take this
That
one
would take
down,
care of the parking and the car issue of staging cars. Yes.
continue on.
Yes. You're exactly right. Moving over to the next one. When we brought Wold in, one of the main things that we asked for was we want to make the buildings equitable to all of our students, so that our students at East Coffee and also Hickerson would get the same type of amenities that North Coffee, New Union, Hillsborough, and Deerfield have. Started looking at other things. One of the big parts that we started looking at with those schools was the core space. If we could get the core space of our cafeteria, our lunchrooms, same place, sorry, library, gymnasiums, music rooms, all the core areas, if we could get those built up large enough, then we can add on classrooms as we need. Right now, if you go and look at Hickerson and East Coffee, those areas are very small, and there'd be no way to actually just add classrooms. We have to get the core building built up, but then we wanna take care of, when you're in that construction mode, go ahead and take care of the possibility of oversized for our classrooms. The second thing that was asked from Wold was to determine what's gonna be the best thing to do with Hickerson. Is it better to add on to it, or is it better to build? And that's two of the things that they jumped on with, both of those. And if you want to, like I said, I'm gonna go through this, I'm not gonna read it to you, so that you can look at it a little bit later. And Wold actually was brought on by our board in May of 2024, as you see down at the bottom, that's in large print. And that kinda lets you know, this is not a quick thing that we just started and bringing it to you today. This has been discussed and looked at by our board in Wold for about 1.5 years now. And it was talked about before that even. Moving on to the next page. What was studied? Physical conditions, capacity versus the enrollment, utilization of the building, grade level organization, functional adequacy, security analysis and audit, site conditions analysis, expansion options as well. The other information that we pulled, we went through Harpeth Research, which is a third-party research group to find out where are we with our growth. And through that growth, we started noticing that Hickerson is one of the areas that was growing, one of the largest growing areas. Now, Coffee County is growing all over, but we did also find out Manchester City is the largest area of growth with it. But Coffee County is growing as well, and we need to take care of those areas. As we go through this, there's gonna be a lot of information. The blue text that's in here is basically the things that we are looking at and that we're really needing to see with that page, and what we're asking for. Going on to the next page, physical condition. Even if we don't do any renovations or additions to our buildings, these are things that Wold located that needs to be taken care of no matter what. So even if we don't go into a building program, we're gonna have to start looking at these different areas, and as you can tell, it's gonna get very pricey there, which is also where it comes into, do we look at building a new building or go back and remodeling? Is it economically sensible to do that? And that's some of the things that was actually, looked at. Do we need to reinvest, or do we need to remodel or replace? And that's where actually Hickerson came in to being the replacement. I don't know if you're all aware, but Hickerson Elementary is, the core building was actually built in the late 1940s. So it's a fairly older building. Now, there's been a couple of additions. The latest addition was in 96, and but it's a fairly old building, and also it makes it challenges that. Well, I'm gonna give you an example. In 1947, 1948, they didn't have the computers we have today. So just the electronics of it even. But the size of the building and so forth makes a difference in the square footage of the classrooms. Moving on over to the next slide. This is where and I'm not even moving in advance, boy, I'm doing bad on my job here. And I apologize. Okay, forgot I even had that. Okay, this is the setup of our building at East Coffee. If you will notice, there is a black dot on each one of those classrooms. Those black dots show that those are currently with a class that is needed that full-size classroom. If you see the ones with an open circle, that's where we could possibly pull if we grew a little bit, we could pull those classes together. Now, they're not gonna go away, but you'll see 4 of those classes, we could possibly take it down to 4 of those classes going down to 2 classrooms. Because those classes like interventions, academic coaches, counselor, they don't need a full classroom, but they don't have another place to go. So if we put 2 classrooms together, or split a classroom, we could actually put those 2 groups together, and that would gain us 2 classrooms. That is a very small fix, but that means we do have a little bit of space, but not much. You're looking at, for 2 classrooms, you're looking at 40 kids, 20 for each classroom, which is not much. Okay, moving on to the next,
Can I interrupt you
yes,
real quick?
absolutely.
I hate to interrupt you, but what's the average time on, say, lunchtime? I'm gonna do East Coffee first, and then you can tell me what Hickerson is, because I believe they're both probably a little different.
I wanna say, and I can actually ask the principals, but East Coffee was about 10:30 was starting the lunch for preschool, and they might have changed it to somebody else, and they were finishing it up around 12:30, 12:50, right at 1 o'clock, to be able to get through all the lunches. And I'm glad you asked that, cause I used.
Well,
whenever
there's a
was at
reason why I
East
asked that
Coffee,
question. I wanted people to know that they're too small. This is one of the reasons why they're too small.
Yes.
You cannot have everybody eating lunch at the same time, and you're doing basically shift work.
You're pushing them through.
You're pushing them, you're pushing each, yeah.
And
So
a
that's
kid
why I
eating
wanted to bring
at
that up.
10:30 for lunch, to me, that's a little early.
Yep.
And I never liked it, but you do what you have to make
I know.
it work. Now at Hickerson, 10:15 is the start of lunch for pre-K
Jeez.
probably, and to 1 o'clock at Hickerson.
See
And
why I
Hickerson's,
brought it up?
lunchroom is a little bit smaller than what Hickerson, or East Coffee
Yes, I know.
is, so, good question.
Okay, thank you, I'm sorry.
Okay, where it says STEM lab is actually an art classroom now. When this was actually made up, it was not we didn't have art class, so we do have art class now. So where it says STEM class is no longer STEM lab, is art classroom. Moving on to the next, and like I said, I'm moving pretty quick trying to, so
Okay.
to get out here. The next one is actually, Hickerson Elementary. Same type of thing, if it's an open circle, I could probably take 2 of those classes and split a classroom and put one on each side of it, and it would suffice. But right now, we're in the fear of, if we need it as a classroom, you don't wanna have it split in 2. So it's a problem there. So we're using it that type of setup. Once again, that would give us enough space for 40 more students. And the way things are looking, it's gonna be more than 40 students. Hickerson's really growing lately, and it's making a difference. And the study actually even showed it, as well as, and I don't know that this group sees the building going out there with the subdivisions and the building that's taking place, but it's happening. It's happening in our areas. Okay, moving on to the next one, which is the Harpeth Research. Even though that all these are Coffee County Schools systems excludes, we have the full report. Coffee County is growing just like Tullahoma and the other. I know, I'm not the presenter person. Thank you. Appreciate you reminding me. Specifically, I've already mentioned, we see the higher growth in Hickerson right now. And if it continues to grow like it's growing in 2 years, we're gonna be well oversized. And that's from the actual data and the information we have today on the numbers that's coming in at Hickerson.
Did
Okay,
that,
moving on to the next one.
I have a quick question.
Yes, absolutely.
Did that study include the potential or, well, the anticipated growth from Arnold Air Force Base? Because that's gonna impact, there's gonna be a huge growth out there.
They looked at everything that they could find. Now, if they didn't if that was not told to them and when they were doing their research, then of course it was left out. I can't remember if Arnold Air Force Base had anything that they were saying when the study was being done.
Okay.
And kind of give you an idea, those numbers are actually, our board felt like they were a little low. They got back in touch with me and said, hey, what about this subdivision that's going out on, I think it's Cat Creek Road? And they didn't get that information, so I gave it to Harpeth, and they included that information. So these are very conservative numbers. They're not inflated or anything. It's from a third party. It was not our architect team. It was not the school system. We wanted to pull away completely so that it was an unbiased study. So to me, that's very important on it. Look, did I answer your question? Do you have any other questions with that?
No, that was
Okay.
it. Thank you.
Okay, the next one is the boundaries. One of the things I had actually heard of was, well, we might need to move some of the boundaries. We have noticed an increase at Hickerson. and a decrease somewhat at New Union. But if you know where those two are, there's a city between the two. And it really makes it difficult on buses to get those kids in that type of setup. And also you're tearing up communities when you do this. And anytime you do move boundary lines, now, Coffee County has not been through rezoning, except for the only time I can remember in my 31 years is that when Deerfield was built. And when Deerfield was built, there was a rezone to move some kids from East Coffee, from North Coffee, and from New Union out to Deerfield. Now, you're moving kids to a brand new school. When you start moving families from the school that they bought a house in that zone for their child to go to that school,
Happy they are.
and now you're saying, no, you have to go over here. Okay, y'all know what happens. I don't think I have to elaborate anymore. But one of the things we do run into, like New Union would be the one that we would need Hickerson kids to possibly go to, is the boundaries don't touch. And it would make it difficult. So they actually drew these dotted lines, and you're looking at having to completely rotate all these kids to the right, clockwise, and, well, you know what's gonna happen. So, but there's a little bit more information you can read through, with the enrollment and the projections and the boundaries. Moving on to the next page, enrollment projections versus capacity. Hickerson immediately needs are 3 sections. Wherever you see 3 sections, or 4 sections, or 2 sections, what we're talking about is the number of classes for that grade level. So if it's 2 sections, then there's 2 sections, 2 grades, or 2 classes of 4th grade, 2 classes of 3rd grade, 2 classes of 2nd grade. If it's 3 sections, it'd be 3 sections of it. So when you see that, that's what that's talking about. And here I get caught up again. I need somebody else to take care of this.
You've got to
I'm
volunteer.
forgetting all about it. Y'all, I don't care to say, I'm passionate about this stuff, and it matters.
I'm good.
That's not part of it. Y'all are looking at this just like I am. But when we're looking at 3 sections right now, Hickerson has 2 sections in every class except for 5th grade. And for them to make it work with the numbers and the size and the square footage, they actually have 3 classes that takes care of the 4th and 5th grades. So they're actually it's kind of sharing a teacher amongst grade levels to be able to make it work. As of right now, I think that's the only school that we have in the county that's doing
Currently,
that.
we actually do have 2 of everything.
Okay, so that was last year, wasn't it? So currently, it's grown, so now we have 2 of every grade level, 2 sections at Hickerson. But those are some of our reasons. Well, it's growing. If we did just an addition at Hickerson, same thing as Terry had brought up, it's gonna be the problem is parking, staging, drop off. Please,
Well,
just go by there at 3 o'clock one day. It's
that's not your only problems at Hickerson.
well, no, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's gonna be one of the big problems with it. Thank you on
The
that.
age of the building is the problem, that I know of, because of Florida.
There's a lot of stuff that
That's having to be braced up because it is failing.
there's
A lot of people
things.
don't know that, but I do. So, okay, I'll shut up now.
All right, but that's mainly what I was wanting to hit on this page, and I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next slide. Square footage for current, the next page is, the current square footage for our classrooms. There are standards for classroom sizes, and the ones that's in pink, they are the ones that's not meeting those standards at this time. And as you can tell, this is for East Coffee and also Hickerson. By doing the renovations, if you wanna go ahead and switch to the next page, you will see that this is the remodel square footage. And even with remodeling at Hickerson, there's gonna be a couple of rooms that's still small. When they built that building in 1947, 48, they didn't require the classrooms to be as large. So they're still gonna be undersized if we stay with the current building and just remodel and do an addition. And that's one of the reasons also another reason it needs to be, a new building. Next page is, it says private on it. This slide is about security, and if you know anything about security in schools, you don't put it out there. You don't tell people what's going on, and rightfully you shouldn't. But there are things that we are constantly, working to make them more secured. I feel secured with our buildings, but as you know, a new building is gonna be a whole lot more secure than a 1947 building. And so that's one of the things we'll be taking care of, as well as at East Coffee. It's just gonna be, there's gonna be things that we can do to make it more secure. And we can talk about that later if you need to, but that is a big one. And especially at this day and time, it's a sad day that we have to do what we do, and have to worry about the things that we have to worry about, but, you know, it's what it is. Next slide. It's a picture of the campus at East Coffee. This is to show you that we can accommodate the addition. You see the building, the East Coffee Elementary is a very large campus. There's a lot of space out front, quite a bit of space out back. They put the yellow to kind of show you plenty of room to put the addition of a gym and the other things that might be needed. This is not a set in stone, but this is just to let you know there's places to put the building and do the addition with it. Moving on to the next page is Hickerson Elementary. And if you'll notice with Hickerson Elementary, it's close to the road. When they built it, it was close to the road. Doing any kind of additions, they put that in yellow. We're still gonna have a lot of problems up front. We're gonna have problems with parking, staging cars, drop off, buses. We try to put the buses in the cars in the front at the same time, and y'all, it's a mess. That's all I can say. It's a mess. And it needs to be taken care of. But let's go, and there's gonna be another page a little bit later on that you can see a little bit more with it. Recommendations. Our recommendation is to try to get equity between all of our elementary schools so that they have a similar experience. While enrollment projections show slow growth in district-wide, East Coffee needs to be a 3-section school to accommodate growth. Hickerson is already over capacity and will need a 4-section school for future enrollment and growth. We gotta be ready for the growth. Like I said at the beginning, and I'm gonna bring it back up, we're ready at Hillsborough. We're ready at Deerfield. We're ready at North Coffee. We're ready at New Union. The only 2 schools we're not ready for is the 2 that we're bringing to you today. Boundary adjustments along with not accommodating loan growth. So we could do boundary adjustments. It gets hairy when you do that, but it's still not gonna take care of everything with it. The site at East Coffee can easily be addressed, but the placement of the building at Hickerson creates major issues for traffic and accessibility. Before investing additional maintenance funds at Hickerson, a long-term decision needs to be made. Because we gotta put some money into our buildings. We've done well taking care of them, but there's things that's gotta be done. As Terry said earlier, we have to take care of those things. Educational spaces should be appropriately sized for each building. And that's classrooms, that's counselors' rooms, that's all the different needs that's in the building. On October 13th, 2025, the Board of Education voted unanimously to do an addition and renovation at East Coffee Elementary with 3 sections. That's gonna allow for growth. And also a replacement at Hickerson Elementary with a new 4-section school. And that's gonna take care of all those other things that we had at Hickerson Elementary.
Do these additions take care of the cafeteria area at East Coffee?
They do.
They
yes,
do?
Yes. And
You
I'm
are
gonna-
addressing that.
We're gonna come, it's gonna be on the slide coming up.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. If you'll turn to the next page, this is a visual of the possibilities at East Coffee. Is this a set in stone? Absolutely not. But it kind of gives you an idea. We can go out the back with the gym and the stage, music and support. As Mr. Hargrove was talking, at the elementary, you have performances. You have parents coming in to watch their kids get awards. At both of our schools, East Coffee and Hickerson, it is a challenge, is the only way I know to put it, to get all the kids in the gym and then get the parents that want to come to watch their kid get an award. We think it's nothing but right for those parents to be able to see their child in a performance. Oh, I remember the kindergarten graduations at East Coffee, and oh my, it was a packed gym. So those are some of the things that we gotta look at. Mr. Hirschman, if you'll look at where the cafeteria is in the kitchen is actually where the old cafeteria and kitchen is. And the new cafeteria here is where the gym is.
Okay, yeah.
So we would be
I'm with you.
converting the gym to the cafeteria.
I'm with you.
Then if you look at the blue, those are the extra added classrooms,
Okay.
and special services, and also the media center will be stretched out, so some walls will be coming down to be able to take care of those. Okay? If you'll turn to the next page, you'll see East Coffee, the layout on the land, with a new addition. Once again, it's not set in stone, but coming out the back, it's easily able to accommodate. One of the things that East Coffee has never had is been able to drive around the back of the building. It's the only school in our system that you're not able to drive all the way around the building, and this would actually take care of it. And what difference does that make? The difference is, whenever buses start getting in the front, we have buses in the front, we have car riders in the front, everybody's going into the front, and it's not a safe situation. You're able to move things around, you're able to put buses at a different staging area, you're able to put cars in one area, so they're not crossing. And when you have a kindergartner and you have buses and cars going on, it's just not, it's not safe. We've made it, we've been very, very lucky and diligent on making them safe as we can, but it does create a challenge for us. Go ahead and turn to the next page, you'll see Hickerson. With Hickerson, it actually shows where you can put a new building, back behind the current building. The way it would work is they would continue to work on building the building, the new building, as they're having school in the old building. Once they finished it, then the kids would move over and the teachers, and then they would demolish the old building, creating more parking place and more area to drive and stage buses and cars.
What is the red outline pink area?
And I knew somebody was
Is
gonna
that
ask me that.
wetland?
I think that's wet areas.
Wetland?
Don't
wet-
hold me to that, but I
not-
think it's wet areas.
Just wet area, is it called wetlands?
It's just infiltration.
Okay.
Because we know that it's on a septic site right now, so you have to plan for new areas for infiltration and potentially for stormwater
Yeah,
quality.
still
Okay,
maintains
I'm with
woodlands
you.
on site.
So where's your septic system located right now on this one? Do you know?
It was on another one.
It's a big tank, you saw.
You
It's
guys-
actually to the
I saw it.
left in
Back,
front
front,
of
yeah.
the building the new building they're looking at. So if you're looking at it, there is a picture earlier on that actually shows where the septic is.
I saw it,
Right
sorry.
Yeah, I can't remember which slide it was right off. We only have 20 slides.
1,500 gallon septic.
Yeah, yes.
There's two of them.
Yeah.
So are we gonna interfere with those on the construction part of it?
I'm assuming we would be, because it looks like it would be there together, but I'm not gonna guarantee that.
So that's why
Once
I'm
again,
at.
this is a mock-up.
Yeah,
This
yeah, I
is
know
not-
it. So that's going to be a part, it's going to be addressed too.
That would have to be, that's, right, that'd be getting into the details of it.
Yeah,
And things that we'd have to look at, because you have to have it,
yeah.
okay? Yes,
So one of the things that we're always gonna talk about, and it comes up later in the presentation based on the construction schedule, is how you pull off something like this, and the fact that when you undertake this kind of effort, you have to spend a lot of time and effort working out a construction disruption avoidance plan. So that way, you have a plan for continued operations of the building, you have safe separation between construction and ongoing activities, and you also work out at that time the phasing that allows this to happen. So that's one of the reasons why you build the new facility while the other one is in operation, and then as soon as you can do the switchover, you take the other one down.
Right.
And that's reflected in our contract documents, which are the documents that the bidders receive.
Mhm.
So they know what's coming and they, that cost is covered, but that's pretty important.
It is.
And I wanna make one more mention. If we did an addition to Hickerson, it would, if you're looking at that building currently, it would be to the left side. And one of the problems is that actually the ground drops off, and where the building would go would actually be a story lower than the current building, which is not good. If you've ever been into Hickerson, it already has a ramp that goes down quite a bit. This would actually take you down even further because it drops off. If you look at Hickerson, the 96 edition, which is that left side, actually was built up quite a bit at that time. So, okay, any other questions on that?
Yeah, I would like to bring up
Yes.
something that was mentioned to me regarding Hickerson. It's a unique in that it sits exactly between the municipal boundaries of both Tullahoma and Manchester, and the urban growth boundaries actually meet on the old Tullahoma Highway and the new Tullahoma Highway, which means the possibility of annexation from either or both could happen, and this school could be surrounded by city residents. A
Absolutely.
scenario.
This is a scenario, and whenever I started looking at that situation, if you notice where the boundaries are for Manchester City and Tullahoma City, they basically go down 55 and they meet, and they stop at the bridge. One on one side, one on the other side. They don't do that on the old Tullahoma Highway, but let's say that they go that way. What's the difference in it compared to what we have with Raider Academy, our high school and so forth, because it's still a county school. I don't foresee Manchester City, could they? I'm not gonna say they couldn't. I don't foresee Manchester City going back behind and taking everything back behind Hickerson. I can see them meeting in the front of it, but still, it's our school. We're still having to take care of all the kids that's in the county in the Hickerson area, except for the ones that they annex. So I still foresee that we're gonna need a school for the kids of the Hickerson community.
Waterford Farm subdivision is in the city limits of Manchester already, which is just right down the hill
Right.
from Hickerson Station. So it's, it's not too far of a stretch to see, because contiguous properties are more advantageous through the annexation process. So it could easily be surrounded
Now,
by.
this commission probably knows more about this, or one of the other committees. From my understanding, that was actually done at the time that they were able to go down a road and then just take a little piece. And basically what I would call an island. And I've heard that you can't do that anymore, and I might be wrong. You probably know
Okay,
more about that.
that what you just described is called corridor annexation,
Okay.
where they made the public thoroughfare the contiguous parcel. Now, you are allowed to go, as long as you're in the urban growth boundary, you can literally annex an island of parcels
Okay.
without contiguous properties. That's something that the Tennessee State Legislature, I think, is gonna be asked to look at. I don't know if it's ever gonna pass, but that is a possibility.
Okay. Like I said, you
Yeah.
know more than I do on that, so, but we've got the plan for what we have and what we need to take care of for our kids and our families. And right now, we have this group in Hickerson area, as well as East Coffee, that we have to take care of. Can Manchester City continue to take over until they take over the entire county? Maybe so. I don't know. Can Tullahoma do the same? Yeah, maybe so. But we have to come to you to take care of what we have and where we are. And I can't control what the other two municipalities do. Okay? Moving on to the next one, projected cost. And this is where those dollar signs start coming in. You'll see on the left, East Coffee, since it's, we're looking at doing a remodel in addition, it's gonna have a few more things. And over to the right, you're looking at the Hickerson, which is the building, a new building. And then in the pink area, you will see that there is, if this commission decided to do a 4-section addition and renovation at Hickerson rather than doing a new building. That was the price tag on it. We wanted to give you all the information we have so that you can make a good, sound decision. And these are the projected costs. As somebody said earlier, the actual numbers is $68,845,000 for both projects. And that is the projected cost. Moving on to the next page, next slide, this is the timeline for East Coffee. It is a projection, of course, it's gonna be dependent upon when funding is available, and the goal would be to actually be occupied in 2027, the fall of 2027, which is approximately a year and a half from now. But that's meaning we have to kick in gear to get moving. And there a lot of things gotta get done, to get this started. And that would be definitely our preference. Moving on to the next one is the timeline for Hickerson. Hickerson's a little bit bigger because you're building an entire new building, as well as we would prefer to be able to tear down the old building during that summer so that we could get the parking and the traffic area all taken care of. But this is once again a proposed, but for this to happen, the architect group said that it would be vital that we get funding basically by March. And it just, y'all, it just takes a while. It's not a fast process, as you all know. Moving on to the next page. This is our recommendations and our conclusion. We believe that this is the best approach to address immediate and current and future enrollment projections. The proposed projects are needed to provide an equitable and appropriate experience between the schools and communities. And once again, please, if you get a chance to come on that tour, you'll see the difference, because until you actually walk through it, you really don't understand it in seeing the different ones. While the projects are large, the recommended solutions are the least disruptive for the students and the community. And I want to say we appreciate you listening and taking the time out to hear us and for me to be able to present to you. And are there any questions?
When are the tours?
I don't have them planned out yet. It will be very soon. And what would be the best way to get the word out to all the commissioners when we're gonna do those?
Do what?
Tours for the commissioners.
Just send it to the mayor's office and we'll forward it to the 18 commissioners.
Appreciate that. I will get that out fairly soon. Any other questions?
I got an obvious one. Has anybody done a possible study on how this is get paid for?
I think the study was that y'all are gonna fund it. No, I'm I'm kidding with you, but no, I don't have I do not have a study with that, no.
Okay.
It is a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
On
And-
top of these needs, you can ask any one of our judges and the judiciary that our judicial center, which was a repurposed school building that served well for so many years, it's in extreme need of total replacement. Those people need a new building as well. And I dare say we would be approaching this kind of money for that building as well. So I can see capital projects overloading our current tax base. So it's worth talking about.
Right, when I came down here, I thought, I need to touch on what we have done, and I went through this sheet just a little bit ago. I didn't go through the whole thing. Hillsborough in 2010, to add 17,000 square feet and do the remodel that was done, it was $4 million. That's 2010. 2010 to add Deerfield as an entire school. We're talking about 15 years ago, $11,400,000. Coffee County Middle School, which is 160,000 square feet. 160,000 square feet, brand new facility, out on 53, $24 million. Raider Academy, I don't have the numbers, but we moved the kids, we did have to put some money into it. I don't have those numbers. North Coffee Elementary, this is really recent. Started in 2019. This commission, there's several commissioners still on the commission that was here when that was approved. $5 million for North Coffee. That was for everything we're asking to do at East Coffee. New Union Elementary, everything that we did, same thing we're asking for these buildings, $5 million. We got $10 million to take care of those, 2 buildings. High school, in 2022, we added 6 classrooms in the old hallways. We used the extra funding to make that happen. It was approximately $800,000 to make that work. And we didn't come to this commission to make that, take care of those and to get that done. Y'all prices just keep going up. And I don't have an answer, but if we do kick this down the road, not only is our kids suffering on not getting the placements, but the price is gonna go up. It's gonna get higher, and we have 2 buildings left. We've got all of our buildings ready to grow. When industry comes in, when growth comes in, we're ready for them. Those 2 buildings are not. And it's the final phase, and it was a plan that was put together several years ago, and we're on the final bit, final leg. So, I appreciate your time. If you have any questions, if any questions come up later on, feel free to contact me at shoresk@k12coffee.net. If I don't know the answer, I'll check and find out. But I will be getting you a tour dates, and we'll go from there, okay?
I've got one more. Inquiring minds are gonna wanna know this. The ADA requirements, when our expenditures on county schools, are the capital projects like this exempt from the ADA matching funds?
That was a question that, at the time, it came up at one of our board meetings or work sessions, I can't remember which one. Ms. Nelson got in touch with Mariana, I think. I'm gonna let Mariana be the one to answer that, because she's gonna have a lot more knowledge than I do.
The funds would come from rural debt, which is not part of the ADA to other school systems. It would be a rural debt service fund.
Meaning that the rural taxpayer pays for it, not the
Yes.
not all the county. So it would be a higher tax increase than straight across the board. But it would only be rural, that way the other 2 systems would not get a Christmas present, technically.
Right, it would not be on the uniform.
Okay. Is there any ESSER money left?
No, ESSER money had to be spent, and I can't remember,
Okay.
Ms. Nelson, that was a couple of years ago, that had to be finalized. And we did pretty good with our system on upkeep. We did not waste any of that money. We could show you the things that we got with it. It was well spent for our kids and staffs. Okay. Any other questions? Like I said, please feel free to give me an email if you do. Thank you.
Are y'all gonna present Tuesday night to the full commission?
Yes,
Okay. Do you wanna take these back, or you want us to keep these? That way you don't have to.
I want you to keep it so
Okay.
that if you have.
That way you don't have to print a bunch more.
You can look through it. I'll tell you what I'll probably do is, if you will use yours, because it is a lot
Yes.
of printing of color and so forth, we will make enough for all the ones that didn't get it. If you'll bring yours Monday, is that, everybody okay with that?
Yeah,
do.
that's good.
All right. Thank you.
thank you all for giving us opportunity to present.
Thank you.
Okay.
Very much.
Okay, with that being said, number 6, it's capital projects funding plan.
Yes, a couple months ago, we talked about some projects that we needed to have done, and I was working on funding. And in case you don't know, this is Lauren Lowe with PFM. She's our financial advisor, and she is here to talk about the plan we've put in place to get the funding for the Justice Center roof, and the Tullahoma Library, and then there's a couple other smaller items that we have added to the list, plus the contingency. So we do have the resolution ready, and if you pass that around. We did speak, Lauren and I, we did speak, and Joan did. To the Director of Local Government Finance about that we had a pretty significant fund balance in our capital, general debt service fund. That instead of incurring debt for these projects that we need, could we pull so much of that fund balance off, put it in capital projects, and that would fund the projects that are needed? They said, yes, that is allowed. So this resolution, which would have to be approved by this committee
His
and then
computer?
forwarded.
Oh, okay, sorry.
And then forwarded to the county legislative body next week. That's the funding mechanism to allow us to move $3.5 million from the general debt service fund over to, the capital projects fund to use for those projects.
Rural capital project or
No.
any?
General debt.
No, general debt. Because.
So everybody's paying, that way everybody understands, everybody's tax money, not just the rural people, is this
It's
money we're
the
talking about.
Unassigned fund balance.
ma'am.
It's the excess we have in there right now, and we do not need, at this point in time, for any additional bonds. We have over $11 million fund balance in general debt. And,
So that would leave us somewhere around $7.5 million in general debt service, okay.
and we have nowhere near that debt right now, so you're still leaving pretty
cushion there.
good cushion.
Yeah.
So we don't have to do a bond, we don't have to pay anybody interest, we're using our own money and we're paying this as we go.
That's
Which
exactly
we ought to be
right.
doing all the
Right.
time, if we can.
Wish all of government would do that.
Pardon?
I wish all of government would do that.
Well, you know, that's what the money is for,
Yes.
you know, for projects, and it didn't make any sense to go borrow money when you had it.
Mhm.
So, that's what we'd like to do, and that way we can get those projects moving. I have budget amendments later that actually is
Okay.
the other mechanism to move the money from one fund, accounting-wise.
Do you need a motion to do this?
Yes.
No, I think we did great.
Okay.
But,
So we would be taking $3.5 million from general debt service to
Yes.
pay for the roof on the Justice Center, fix the Tullahoma Library, a contingency fund, and two other things.
and pay for the architect and engineers. I already have a proposal from our general engineers, St. John Associates, to do that. And then there was a couple minor things, that came up during the budget process last year, and we can revisit with
Okay.
the balance. Once we get those two main projects, you know, get them bid out, we know how much they are going to be, and then whatever we have left over, we can decide on these other minor projects we had.
Okay. And that goes through capital outlay,
Yes.
those projects.
yes.
Okay, so Terry oversees the,
Sorry. Apologize for that.
I thought, ma'am, sorry about that. Oh, thank you. That was a good one. All right, so Mr. Hirschman, capital outlay, oversees all that. So these are not frivolous things that we're spending money on. The Justice
No.
Center needs a roof. The Tullahoma Library by far needs to be fixed. And whatever is left over, capital outlay will decide that they will spend that on projects that the county needs done. Okay,
So it's coming from the general debt service to the
general debt
fund.
service, yes, that's where
Move it to general fund.
everybody's money goes
Okay.
into that, not just the rural.
Right.
Everybody's money, because this is everybody's stuff. The Justice Center, the Tullahoma Library belongs to everybody. Anybody want to make a motion to that? If not, I will.
You don't need to do that. And I really don't need to make that motion either, but I will if I have to, because I believe in everything that we've asked for. I would rather somebody else make a motion to do that, and
Well, I'll make that motion because to me it makes sense. If we don't fix the Justice Center, the roof's gonna rot.
I
Exactly.
prefer chair not make
Okay.
a motion,
Chair
please.
shouldn't do that
Sorry.
either.
All right.
If anybody, if you go ahead and we can discuss it.
If somebody make a motion, we can at least talk about it.
All right, I'll make the motion to move 3.5 million from one account to the other.
From general debt service.
Yeah.
Second.
Okay.
Have a motion.
Got a motion and a second. Now we can talk.
Okay. I will tell you, we have not, these projects that we're, trying to fund is stuff that has been kicked down the road for so long. We have actually wasted a lot of money on that Tullahoma Library the way it is right now over years. And we've came up with a solution for it. It's not a cheap, it could have already been, let's put it this way. If they'd have done this back in 5 to 6, 7 years ago, it would have already been paid for because it was way cheaper back then. Exactly what Mr. Shores was talking about. Material is not gonna come back down. It's not gonna do it. Labor's not gonna come back down. It's just, that's the nature of the beast now. We're having to deal with that. The longer we kick it down the road again, the worse it's gonna be on the next commission, the next mayor, whoever. We have fixed a lot of county property this last couple of years, and I know that we have repaired a lot of things, and roofs were a must. The judicial building where we have our courtrooms at, the roof is deteriorated so bad. Where the old jail part where we keep our records right now is disgusting to go into. It's almost a health hazard. To me, it is. I don't like going in there because of the, whatever. I don't want to say everything on it, but these are issues that we have been fighting for a while, and we know they've got to be fixed. We're moving forward on getting things fixed, and I think we're spending the money the correct way right now. If you want to go through in-depth stuff, we have numbers we put together. I put a lot of this on Mariana to help us find the funding to do this, and she's done that. And to be where we're not sitting there throwing another tax burden on our taxpayers is astronomical to me, because I know that I not want that happening, but I don't want to sit there and let our properties go to waste. And that's what is happening right now, and this will fix a lot of stuff that we have got going on that's bad.
And when people ask about those records, state law mandates that certain records, just like the school system, have to be kept forever.
Ever.
Even when that person becomes deceased, that record has to be kept, which maybe one day our state will see the craziness in that. But right now, the laws that we have to abide by, there are set records that have to be kept forever in the county file and the school file, by state law. So
What
we
about
have.
digitizing those records and lowering
Well, we've
the
looked
storage?
at
They're in
that.
the process now.
They're in the actually they're in the process of having a lot of it digitized. If I'm not mistaken, we've
Spent money on
we've
that.
spent money on that. Okay, but you still have to keep the other records for. That's a pretty good while, if I ain't mistaken. Even if you haven't digitized.
I'm down to maybe 20 books, general journals, that I need scanned. And
So you're doing good. But the old
Right.
jail,
It's hard
what
to get
he's talking
anybody to
about is
do
the
it.
old jail
I have
down
a
there.
document imaging
Yeah,
system.
that is full
But you
of
get rid of
documents.
your paper documents once they go digital?
Yes.
So you don't have to keep them very long after that. So, but let me say this.
We don't print them anymore. Now they already are.
Right.
Digitized.
So if you've ever been in the old county jail and all the,
I was in there when it was a jail.
okay.
The cell
So
block.
all those cell blocks are record
Now
holders right now,
Yeah.
and they are packed. To
So
digitize it is
It came
going to
down off
take
the floors.
years.
Yeah.
It was moved off the upper floors
Yes,
down.
sir,
But
where it was causing a
Structural.
structural damage. It was that bad. So I'll hush on that.
Okay,
But I think this is a great move.
any more discussion? Okay, the motion is to move $3.5 million from general debt service over to cover these
Yes.
expenditures. Okay, all those in favor by aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next one is budget amendments. You wanna go first?
Okay,
Okay, we'll just keep going where we're going.
okay.
Under the budget amendments, I was gonna put one in, cause we talked about this yesterday in, rural solid waste. Rural Solid Waste has applied for a state grant, which they qualified for, and this is for the convenience centers. All of the convenience centers where TDEC is requiring them to take out, if you've been to the convenience centers, where the liftable dumpsters sit, has become spongy over the years. And they're requiring, TDEC is requiring Rennie to pour concrete pads to hold all this stuff up. He qualified for $148,873 grant. We had put with that $37,000 out of our fund balance, thinking that was gonna cover the cost of the pads. Well, like you said, stuff has gone up. The cheapest bid came in, and we accepted that bid, was $207,090, which leaves us $21,000 in the hole. We voted Wednesday, and Mariana, we voted to take $21,000 from his fund balance and move it over to cover the cost of this grant. Because we talked about not doing one. If you don't do one, then the grant goes down. So you're chasing money. As you don't do what you said you were gonna do, the grant money decreases, which still makes you still have to pay. Rennie has money in his fund balance to cover the $21,000.
Could we not use, it would be, go between two funds,
Mhm.
but there's a sufficient fund balance in rural capital projects. You could do it either way, I mean, that's
We
not,
voted
that's
we
not a
voted to take
lot.
it from him yesterday. That way we don't have to go back and re-vote, and we can,
Okay.
because if they can do this, they will start within the month,
Okay,
okay?
can you tell me how much that was again?
$21,000, straight out.
Okay, so what I'll do is, since I already have amendments for the next week's meeting,
Okay.
we'll make that number 15,
Okay,
and I'll add that.
and I'll just put that in there. We can just do all the amendments at once, if that's okay.
Yeah, I did want to explain.
Okay.
one of them. A couple of them,
So
because they look
that's the one
different.
that I started, then we're gonna go with her.
So that'll be 1/16/2026, 15.
$21,000.
Okay. And that's enough? 21?
Yes, ma'am.
To do all six
Yeah,
convenience centers.
because that's how, we were short $20,980, and I just rounded it up to make it fit.
Okay.
You say that's gonna be 1/20/2026, what,
Yeah,
15 or 16?
15. It's 1/16.
Yeah,
The
that'll be the
last one
next.
I have here, I think
14.
it's 14, so it'd be 15, I may have
All
said
right,
16,
all right.
but I meant 15.
Rural solid waste.
Just
Yep.
reading my mind. Okay, so the first one is number 9. It's 171/2026-9. This is, Summitville. They had some things on back order that they did not get last year. They came in this year. Well, that's part of their last year's funding, so we
Yes.
need to increase. I put cost centers in all the fire, volunteer fire departments now. So that's Summitville, SVVD, Summitville Fire Department, increased $1,000 to pay that.
Okay.
The next one is the public health and welfare projects, the one that says site development, the second line there. That is the oil collection facility. I forgot, that was on me, that this money was in last year. We already added money to finish, what they're doing out there with that site development. So this $77,678 was money, budget last year wasn't spent, so I'm just reappropriating it for this year for that oil site.
And
Oil
when you're speaking of that, I
Oil
would-
collection, isn't it?
Yeah, it starts, the construction on his oil and antifreeze collection starts January the 19th
Great.
of this year.
I
And it-
realized that when we did the bid and awarded and all that, I didn't move the last year money over.
And that is across the street from Real Solid Waste, and there will be no garbage there because there's been some calls coming in. No garbage will be contained in that area, be accepted in that area at all. It's just for oil
Oil
and
and-
antifreeze.
Yeah.
Good, we
Okay.
sure need that. The next one is for the general fund. This one's quite lengthy because I have just, some things that were over, obviously. So, sorry, I'm a little tired, I'm
Okay.
starting to fade. It's number 10. So the top part of it, the things that are just normal, added to the budget or taken away, I didn't put any notes. But the ones where I have a number out to side, I thought that's stuff worth mentioning. Like I do have to take $110,513 for fund balance, from fund balance. The major reason is, excuse me, the liability insurance. Lots of times, I don't get the quotes adequate enough when we're going through the budget there in the month of June. So you can see 79,452 of that is our liability insurance. You know, we have more vehicles now than we have, and plus we did a little bit of an increase on our buildings. Cause you know, if our buildings are demolished or whatever, or if a tornado, God forbid, or earthquake, we rebuild at the cost now,
Okay.
so.
So like replacement cost.
Yes, that's
Okay.
why I was, you know, it's better to me to pay a little bit
Yes.
to keep it up than
Yes.
have to, you know, get $100,000, let me know it's gonna cost 25 million. So,
Yep.
that's the main thing. The other thing was, you know, Bonnaroo didn't happen, so we did not get the event fee
Okay.
this past year, well, from this year, so that's $265,000, so that was significant. But, all that aside, we don't put all our eggs in one basket
Basket.
anyway. So, a lot of this is just moving things from transfers, like with the sheriff's department, he has overtime because he has, personnel shortages. So that's moving from, like, deputies to overtime, or from jailers. You can look through there, that's where a lot of that is. Longevity pay, some were over a little bit, some didn't use all their money. But I do have the comments on the, down at that last page on that amendment, the things I thought you might wanna know about. Oh, and the other thing, that number 5 on the explanations, we did not talk about. HRW had sent a request to reimburse the city of Manchester for courthouse decorations. So I did put that in there, I think it was.
That's at 35.
$2,000.
Yeah.
No, it's 35, isn't it?
35,
It's on,
yeah, 35,
It's right down here.
3,500.
Okay, and that was for the decorations for Christmas?
Or- yes.
Yes. And we're hoping to next year have a Christmas tree, have a Christmas tree planted there, and it be the county
Oh.
Christmas tree.
That'd be nice. What kind of tree?
Christmas tree.
Cedar tree.
You can grow Christmas trees out in there.
Well, we were gonna have a cut tree this year and it didn't work out,
Yeah.
so.
I've had so many people comment about the square.
Yes.
And even, when we did the, strolling on the square, I go there every year, just because I like going up there. But so many people addressed the lighting of what we did on the square. I think it was really done very well, this year, it's been progressing every year, and it really looked good. I hope everybody gets to go by there and see it. It's still on, so.
Well, they're taking it down today.
Oh, they were taking it down today. I thought they were.
When I was a
but-
kid, the Wilkins
Missed it.
Christmas tree in Tullahoma was down by the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
And it was lit every year when the Christmas parade happened. And
Yeah.
Mr. Ben Wilkins owned the overall factory during World War II, so he was a very wealthy man. but this was a enormous tree back then that was lit by him. And
I remember.
as a kid, I mean, if our children have that same look back nostalgia of this town that I have of my hometown, they'll want to live here.
Exactly.
And you do things to entice them, well, just encourage them to live here. That we do Christmas and we celebrate the birth of Christ, so, sorry.
Okay.
It's okay. The next one is just for the ambulance fund. This is, increasing liability and vehicle insurance. That's the mainly what that is. $28,460.
And they've done very well with
Decrease.
their ambulance machinery because
yeah.
the trucks are not blowing up like the Fords were.
Right, right. I'm fixing to buy a new one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the biggie, this is what I was talking about, the general debt service. This is moving, part of this is moving the money, the 3.5 million. Also, we have a note I would like to pay off. That's the one for the roof.
Okay.
That's what the principal notes, the
2 million.
1,256,000. And then that'll take everything out of the general debt except for the jail, the 2 jail notes. And the enterprise leases.
Okay.
So anyway, that's what that is.
So we'll pay the roof off on the CCAP building.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Smart.
And the other thing is, as you know, investment income is dropped right now. So I do have to reduce 411,281 estimated.
Okay.
So all of that aside, that's a reduction of 5,245,786, which still leaves 7,732,424 in general
General debt.
debt. The
Okay.
next one is, the account, the fund that's very busy right now, general capital projects. The transfer in is that 3.5 million, moving it from 151 over to 171 to do those projects. The other thing is breaking that down between the estimates of 3.5, and also we had previously approved EMA to get a vehicle and a drone.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that 83,814 is. So that's a reduction, $83,814 from capital projects. So you can see why we needed the 3.5 to do those other projects.
Okay.
And then the last one, local purpose tax. This was another situation, you know, we're doing, Rogers Group is doing the interstate park, improvements. The engineering costs, I set that up in last year, nothing got done, started this year, so I needed to increase the engineering costs to finish that project. So that's it, except for the new one we added to
Okay.
number
21.
15.
15.
That's that.
Okay. Are we gonna have these for next commission, full commission meeting, right?
Yes.
So we're gonna have them broke out when we vote on each one of them? Or we're gonna try to do them all at one time again?
I think it's the way they key those in to the agenda.
I can
They key 'em
put
in
these
one at a
on
time,
the,
don't they?
I can put these on the agenda. This is the reason the agenda hasn't been sent out,
I know,
because we've been
because we
waiting on
haven't- we
this
haven't
meeting.
approved
But
it
I
yet.
can put
Yeah.
all these on by unanimous consent if it's, without objection, you know, and if anybody, everybody's gotta understand, when it's unanimous consent without objection, if nobody objects, you've done it.
You've done it.
And if you do have an objection, state it. So we can
So if
get through the
anybody
meeting a little bit quicker if I had all of these amendments on the agenda approved by unanimous consent
Okay.
without objection. So
But
when
if
we
somebody
approve the
wanted-
agenda, you're done.
But if somebody wanted to pull number 2026-11
They
out.
better
and
do
talk-
it when we're
Okay,
approving
I'm
the
good with that.
agenda
Before you-
by
yeah.
objection.
Okay.
Or if you get into the
have a
meeting,
motion
then it's
on
gonna
those yet?
take a two-thirds
We haven't done
majority
that
to
yet.
amend the agenda, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody want to make a motion?
I'm gonna
on all
make a
these?
motion
Okay.
to approve these amendments
Okay, got a
as
motion by Terry.
presented.
I'll second it.
Second by,
Could you state that approval that you would like for it to be
I-
presented on the main, legislative body agenda as a unanimous consent?
Yeah, I would like to approve them when we present this to the full commission and it be run through and approved on the agenda as we're voting for the
By
agenda.
unanimous
By unanimous
consent.
consent.
Thank you.
I agree with that.
So,
okay, so motion and second, she agrees. Anybody have discussion? No discussion. Okay. All those in
you
favor?
gonna have work session, correct?
Yeah,
Okay,
Monday night,
'cause
yes,
we
sir,
need to-
we sure
they
are.
need to better get on
Yeah,
the
Monday,
board.
yeah, that way
They
we
need
can
to
talk
come.
about it Monday night too. All right, all those in favor by aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. School board budgets, amendments?
Oh, is that the number for me?
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be okay. We've already got a 01.
Do you read my name?
I do like that. Doing them all.
Yeah, 'cause I
Plus,
ain't-
if you come Monday night, you can have all that.
If they would come to work session, get done with it, we'd be done. Okay.
Good evening. Three budget amendments, would you like me to go through all at the same time, or one?
Just go through them all one time.
Budget amendment 141, 2026, 10. Each year, we're able to restrict funds within our budget to carry over to the next school year. And we also have some grants that we need to restrict each year to carry over to the next year. So we're dipping into those restricted funds to pull out to use in our budget, where we need them. So our biggest area is, of need is transportation, which is 72710, and that should say transportation services, but it says community services there. We are in need of five school buses. So, when we ask for those, the prices have gone up tremendous amounts, so the, school district will pick up whatever is not in the county budget for those school buses. And then, medical and insurance has skyrocketed up to 9% in some areas, so we needed to pull from that restricted fund to cover that. And then, if you look on the second page, another large area is the vocational equipment, educational program, we are gonna buy some large pieces of equipment this year, for vocational. He has some areas that he needs to replace equipment in, so we'll need to use some of that funding for that. And then, also insurance and retirement went up. This does reduce our restricted fund balance. As you can see at the bottom, the first section, it reduces it to 7.1. Questions about that one? 141, 2026, 11. This is a new grant that we received for $2,000. It's called Healthy Students, Stronger Learners Grant, state grant. It's a state grant. It's already been approved in E-Plan, all the way through the State Department. This is just to bring the funds in our budget, to use those. And then, 141, 2026, 12. The board formed an innovative committee to allow, our staff to apply for mini grants up to $2,500, to do innovative instructional things in their classrooms. They put out a document to apply for those grants. They have to fill out a budget. Once they submit those grants, the committee will review them, and then those will be proposed to the board. And so they wanted to set aside $50,000. We probably won't use all the $50,000. I think the last time we looked, we had 7 or 8 that had been turned in. So we'll do it one time a year, and this is the funding to set up for those innovative grants when they come in from the staff, the school system, and that is taken directly from our unassigned fund balance, which will reduce it to 14.1.
I'll make a motion to approve these.
Okay, we have the motion to approve by Terry,
I'll second.
second by Laura. Any discussions or questions? All those in favor by aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
Thank you.
amen.
Thank you.
Okay, next thing's new business.
Oh, I have two things.
Yes,
real
ma'am.
quick.
Do you guys want the school budget amendments put on the main agenda by
Boy,
unanimous
that would be nice.
consent?
I need to change,
modify-
I wanna modify my
to
motion
modify that motion.
to put them on there on the agenda as being presented.
Without
Without objection by unanimous decision.
unanimous consent.
Okay,
So,
Do you change it, your second?
No, I keep my second.
You'll second it, though. You agree with his
I agree with that.
modification?
I agree with that.
All those in favor by the modification, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, by unanimous consent.
yes, sir.
Okay, that means one person can argue when we stop.
Yeah, I know it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, all of y'all, appreciate your presentation.
Oh, this is for the
If I had
ambulances.
$100 million right now, I'd
Strikers.
write you a check.
Yeah.
It's a 5-year contract.
Yeah,
That's how much I believe in the school system needs to be improved. You know, you started with the education part and then you build from there. And I appreciate what you're trying to do, Mr. Short. I really do.
So the first item that I handed
Oh,
was
okay.
a grant for the sheriff's department, a training grant.
Mhm.
That I received, already approved the other day, but we do have a process.
Matching.
So this is to get formal process from the county legislative body for that, to accept that grant.
okay, it says that grant's 100% match.
Yep.
Will that come out of his fund balance? His money?
The revenue will come in from the state, and then it will increase the, that is actually in the budget amendment.
Okay,
It is, yeah, I
Yeah.
thought.
You got the revenue to pay for the
I saw
expenditure, so there won't be any fund balance.
but he has to match the 14,000, correct?
No, it's 100%.
but it
Oh, I-
says 100% match.
Yeah, out here on the end of it, it says matching is 100%. That means if.
I
Grant
thought you
award
meant-
He's getting-
funding percentage or match. is-
I took it as he's getting 14,439, because that's what the grant document says.
Okay,
If not, it'll
So
come
he
out of
had
the
to
budget, yes.
okay.
But-
So if it has to have matching funds, the
It'll-
sheriff will pay for that?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, Not us. It's already in his
Right.
budget. All right.
But it does, the grant.
We need to get that fixed on this sheet. Or,
Right.
or,
What's wrong with my sheet? I did this sheet.
well, to me, it ought to say zero.
Yeah, to me it should too.
Well, I can
Means
do
we
that.
don't have
Yeah.
any matching funds that we have to
Oh,
match.
okay.
But under.
Because right now it tells me he's gonna get $28,000 or $29,000.
It
Well,
makes
he's gonna
sense
get
to me.
14 and then he's gonna
And
have
he's
to
gonna have to come up with somewhere else,
14,
another
then he's gonna have to
14.
come up with
See, I
14.
did think the other way
Okay,
around.
I'm sorry.
I'm just,
I'm sorry. I
I'm
apologize.
not as smart as you are in numbers.
No, it's how you read, interpretation.
It is how you read it.
Okay.
I-
I don't
But it
appreciate
says
I will-
funding percentage or
Yeah.
match. Funding percentage is 100%, so I'm not sure it's incorrect, to be honest with you.
Thank you, ma'am.
If you use that or,
Well, maybe
'Cause usually
funding
the
ought to
or
be
is for
circled.
the or may be for the 75% or
That way
25%
the slow
match.
people can figure it out.
Yeah.
Correct.
funding
Okay.
percentage.
So, this
I
is a
will look at
grant that needs to be approved, that she says that there are no matching funds needed.
Yep.
So the sheriff can qualify for $14,439. Take a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
And I second.
In a second. Any discussion? All those in favor by aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next one is ambulance.
Yeah, the second is, Stryker 5-year maintenance agreement. Because it's more than 1 year, the county legislative body will need to approve it.
Did this go through the ambulance authority? Or did it just come to us because,
I have no idea.
okay.
I imagine it did because,
This is the
What about
equipment that
capital
picks people
outlay?
up
They look-
when the electric or the hydraulic lifts for the,
it's,
ambulances.
I printed what
Oh, this is
exact-
not a
This is
structure.
not a structure. This is strictly,
I
equipment.
mean, yeah. It's
didn't
for this
go
right
through
here. There's a document there
Yeah.
tells you what it's for.
Yeah.
Is this a proposed? What is
It's toward the back, it's on the, like a 5th page.
Yeah, I see it.
Preventative maintenance, inspections. they can get pretty costly. This keeps it at, you can just see the schedule.
Well, the striker is the unit
yeah.
that protects our employees from getting hurt by lifting
backs.
someone like me.
Once
So,
So it's 76.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're.
it picks itself up
hydraulic,
for
they're
them, yeah, for
hydraulic.
them to be able to load the ambulance and not get hurt, and then
Yes.
our workman's comp go up, so.
So the schedule's on page 3 of the annual payments. Yeah, they're pricey because
Yeah, it is.
they are expensive to replace.
So it's $15,000 a year?
15,000.
No.
Yeah, it's 15 a year?
Yeah.
Okay, starting with a balance of 77,000, and then, okay, does this come out of their
Ambulance fund.
fund? Okay,
That makes me feel better.
It's already been budgeted.
Yeah, it's already in the,
Okay.
it's already been
But-
budgeted out.
Yeah, the way they did their schedule, it's decreasing as the year goes down, but because it's
yes,
over a year,
well, it has got through
it
us.
has to, the county legislative body has to approve it. Can't do it when it's 1 year.
It's already in their budget though, so it's
Yes.
no additional money from us. Okay, I'll entertain a motion on that one if somebody would.
And I'll send that on to the,
I'll make a motion.
Tim makes a motion.
I thought I'd let the other end try to do something.
I'll second it.
You got a second over there? Any discussion? All those in favor, by aye? Okay.
but I will review my grant document and see, I
Okay.
can make it.
It just, to me, it does look like
You're
we're
good.
matching funds.
We're good. I'm good. I got clarification on it anyway. We are scheduled to have a meeting January the 22nd.
Yes, we are.
Do we need to?
I won't be here.
Okay.
I'm saying no, and the only reason I'm
Okay.
saying that is
She's not
because-
gonna be here. You're saying no. Anybody else?
Only reason I'm saying that is we're gonna be coming up, here,
Yeah.
next budget. It's coming
Yeah.
up in, February, March, and we're gonna be looking for meetings.
Well, in our and I was thinking about this the other day. In our meetings, when we do the budget and people are presenting to Budget and Finance, whoever's here, it needs to be the flat budget, what you're asking for. And I don't know, maybe we need to adjourn and talk about this, I don't know. But I was gonna send out an email, and I love hearing people talk about their people. I
know,
do.
but
But some of our meetings have gone on for 3.5 hours.
because we don't.
I was gonna send out a request to say, if you wanna come talk to us about your people, I'm on for that, but it needs to be done in the month of
We
February.
just need to hear what your
Yeah.
budget is. Not-
But when we start the budget process, it needs to be limited to presentation of your budget. I know everybody loves their people. I love mine. I fight the devil for them. I'll fight a wild cat for them. But the 3.5 hour budget, I lose consciousness, and I don't keep things, take good notes. So would that be ill-fired if I
I
send
think it's
I'm gonna write a
appropriate.
letter then, I'm gonna send it to you and have it sent out by me, the Budget and Finance Chairman.
I
just
think,
to
I
ask.
think I think you'd probably get all the budget, people on the budget and finance to even help
Well,
to sign that thing, cause
I just think
It's-
that, and if you
we
wanna
don't
come
need
talk
all
to
that
us,
other
well,
stuff.
when you wanna come talk to us about your people, I'm all for it. I am, I'm good for it. But when we get into that March, April, May thing, and it's lasting from here, and we're here at 8:30 at night, everybody's lost their thought, and things fall through the cracks, and we can make a mistake. So that's my only
That
thing.
has happened.
Just
Okay.
talk about the money.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, and that's what you're
Yes.
focused on, is the money, not people,
Yes.
on
Yeah,
that.
I
So
agree with
is that agreeable with y'all?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I will send that tomorrow. So, but if anybody wants to come talk about their people, I'm open for it all day long though, just not during that 3-hour run.
It's hard to keep everything.
Yeah,
It is.
so, okay.
Are we gonna set a
So we're
time
gonna
for our next meeting?
pass on the 22nd, and
Okay.
then we'll have one in February, and I don't know when it's scheduled. in
I
February.
got it, it's the 26th in
Okay,
February.
February 26th.
is everybody good
February
with the 26th of
26th.
February?
Got it.
Okay. All right, motion to adjourn,
I make a motion to adjourn.
motion,
Second.
second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Everybody please turn your microphones off.